Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Harpreet Kapoor, the moderator of this webinar. Thank you for standing by and welcome to Manage and Protect Mission-Critical Data in the face of rapid information growth and increased risk of data loss. We have with us today Mr. Purushottam Murukutla, Portfolio Leader IT Infrastructure, Cloud and Managed Services at IBM. He has over 18 years of experience helping enterprise clients across India in infrastructure services. Of these, he has spent the last 7+ years in data center services, including hybrid, public and private cloud, storage and backup, site and facilities, and managed services. He is currently responsible for creation, launch, creating value proposition, and sales enablement of new offerings in systems and cloud services. This session will demonstrate the value of how a managed data backup and protection service can protect your company and make your data available when you need it. IBM Resiliency Services Backup as a Service offers a robust range of on-site, off-site, and hybrid cloud-based data protection solutions for clients that want to support information resiliency across enterprise data assets. We help you choose and implement a solution based on your priorities for backup, retention and retrieval, gain security-rich, virtually anywhere, anytime access to information in the extended enterprise. So without any further delay, I would like to now hand over the proceedings to Mr. Purushottam. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Purushottam. I take care of the offering management for business resiliency at IBM. And today, we are going to discuss a brief about the IBM portfolio for resiliency services, and with a core focus on our backup as a service, the offering we have. Yeah, so this is a brief agenda. So first we will, I'll give a brief introduction of IBM Resilience Services, and we will see why the protection of data is very much critical for any organization, and followed by the IBM Resilience Services framework, and with a core focus on the backup as a service, and what are the critical components of our offering, and how it is being structured, and what is the actual value proposition of the solution, and followed by question and answer session. So if you look at the evolution of IT from the past few years, it's completely becoming the data driven. Okay, so the IT landscapes are scaling up, and new workloads are being added every day, and the technology is evolving. Similarly, the data has become very critical, because nowadays whatever the action we take in the enterprise is completely data driven. So data has become the most important component of the IT industry. So see, all the technologies that have been evolved to protect the organizational data. So you may be seeing that there are significant number of increase in the cyber attacks in the recent past, in the last 2 years, 2016 to 2017. And these attacks are not limited to small enterprises, but all the big companies like Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. are affected. So we need to ensure that our IT infrastructure is completely protected, our data is protected, and we should be able to continue our business without any interruption. And so that should be our priority if we are implementing any IT solution. So these are the most relevant slide for this topic of backup as a service. The first and foremost, the complexity across the globe of the industry is increasing. okay? And there are multiple regulations are coming up. If you are aware that in European Union, they are implementing GDPR, which is going to be live by in the middle of next month. And in case if there is any attack and on the IT landscape, the complete business is getting disrupted, which means that you are not able to do any transactions, and your brand value is at stake, and there are multiple concerns about the data integrity at the company, and the last one is coping up with the financial turmoil. So the moment you have any attack on the IT landscape, the complete transaction of the business will be stopped, and you may lose the critical data. The other thing is that in the recent attack, in the month of January, probably you are aware that some people have encrypted data of some of the traders in Delhi, and they are asking to pay a ransomware in the form of bitcoins, and then only they are saying that to release the key to decrypt the data, which means that they have completely taken over the control of your data. So see, the ultimate aim for the data protection solution, whether it can be backup or it can be the recovery, disaster recovery, we need to ensure that our data is adequately protected, and in case of any disruption, our data is readily accessible for me, and I will be able to ensure that my the business will go smooth without any interruption, so that I can protect my customers' data and also ensure the brand value of the company. So why do we need the data protection solution? So one is to protect my organizational data and recover as fast as possible, and the data should be accessible every time. So that is the reason the cloud-based technologies will come into picture. Okay, so from cloud you will be able to access the data from any place, anytime. Okay, and the basics of disaster recovery is not just implementing a solution. We need to adequately plan and design a proper solution for it, and we need to rigorously test that solution, and you need to ensure that the solution is adequately protected the organizational data. And the last point is the data protection needs. So one is that once you protect your organizational data, and yes, it is there with you, but if you are not able to restore the data as and when it is required, then it is of no use. So one is the protection of the data. Second thing is data availability. Third thing is how fast you will be able to restore the data and ensure the business continuity. So on this slide, we will, so it is more about IBM, and we have nearly 50 years of experience in providing, resiliency services that including the data protection solution services. And we have dedicated people of around 6,000 people across the globe, so to provide consulting services, design, implementation, and support services for the complete resilience service portfolio of IBM. And we have more than 400 data centers across the globe, and about 300 plus resiliency sites, where these resilience centers are basically focused on to ensuring the business continuity for the organization, and also providing the data protection solution for the customer. So we at IBM, we call it as the 7-layer framework for resiliency. There are 7 layers on this chart, ranging from the facilities to the IT infrastructure till the application and the what is the strategic vision of your organization. So we cover all the aspects when we are designing a resilience solution for you. Okay, so coming from the bottom, so we take care of the complete facilities, designing of the facilities, and designing of the IT infrastructure to ensure that it is always on and it is always available. And we bring the automation solution to ensure the business continues there. For example, we have IBM Cloud Resiliency Orchestration Solution so that we can bring the automation in managing the disaster recovery, and data protection solutions such as the solution we are going to talk about, which is the backup as a service, okay, and protection till the application, and understanding your process, and the organization data criticality and the regulatory requirements, and providing the overall comprehensive solution from a resiliency point of view. So this is what IBM provides as part of the complete resiliency service portfolio. So coming on to the next slide, we have three core offerings under data protection services. So one is the resiliency communication service, which we provide the real-time communication in case prior to the actual disaster occurs. So we will give an intimation that at so-and-so time, the disaster is going to occur, so that you are well prepared, for the disaster. Second one is the backup as a service. We are going to focus on in today's discussion, how to protect the data, how to retrieve the data, and how to ensure that the data is always available for you, to ensure the business continuity. The third one is disaster recovery as a service. This is basically we bring the complete automation part for your disaster recovery site, and we ensure that the manual process is very limited when you are bringing the DR site up. Okay, so these are the three core offerings under data protection, and now we are going to discuss on our topic which is focused for today, which is the backup as a service. So before getting into the overall the offering discussion, I just wanted to have one question. And have you ever experienced any issues with your current data backup and retrieval solutions? So I would like to just ask you just so that we have an understanding. If it is yes or no, just provide your answer on the web page. So I'll give a 15 seconds more so that you people can respond to this whole question. Then I'll go to next slide. Yeah. So what is this backup as a service, offering or solution offered by IBM? So first, it is a cloud-based solution. So cloud is an integral part of it. And second, the important point is there is no capex involved for this, and we provide the complete solution, on monthly subscription basis, monthly recurring charges. And it is easy to manage. It is the next generation technology. This solution, the offering is built on next generation technology. It's not a legacy backup technology, whatever we are having from past several years. And it is very cost effective, and is very transparent pricing model. With one line item, you will be able to cover all the features of a backup solution. And it has multiple features. It is not just backup. It is a complete data management solution, I would say. So with this solution, you will be able to have the replication between the primary and DR. Apart from backup, I'm talking about. Apart from backup, you will be able to replicate the data between the primary and DR. You will be able to provide or do a storage virtualization, and you can drastically reduce the storage consumption at your organization level. And also you will be able to do the workload migrations, and there are multiple other features that are inherent of this solution. So what are the components our solution includes? So we provide the complete backup solution, that including the consulting part, where we understand your exact requirement, organizational requirement, and how critical is your data, and what are your current existing pain points. And by understanding all these things, we will create a solution, and it will be implemented either at any IBM resiliency data center, or we can implement at your premises also. Okay, and apart from this designing and implementing, we provide 24/7 proactive support, and we will provide complete, web-based portal, to understand how your backups are happening, and what is all these things you can see from a web-based portal. Also, we provide the complete reporting for the solution, whatever we are providing. So just want to add here that it is not just providing the backup solution at your premise, but we also integrate the overall backup solution with IBM Cloud Object Storage, so that you can keep the data for long-term retention. For a short-term retention and retrieval, you can store the data on-prem in on-premise storage. For the long-term retention and secondary copy, we will provide a native integration with the solution with the IBM Cloud Object Storage, and you can keep the data for a long time, and as well as you can use the same IBM Cloud Object Storage for the archival purpose of the data. So here we are trying to eliminate the complete manual process of the writing onto the tapes and tape rotation activity, so that we can save a lot of time, and also the retrieval will be faster. If you have the data available on cloud, you can access it from anywhere. So that is the intent of integrating the complete object storage along with the backup solution we are providing. Yeah, so the key components of the solution, whatever we are discussing here, is that the primary copy will be on the local storage, the backup copy, and the secondary copy we will provide it on IBM Cloud Object Storage with a native integration. There is no intermediate appliance is required. We can provide the solution as I told you, that at any IBM resiliency data center, or we can implement at your premise. And whatever the existing legacy backup solution you have, we can migrate the complete data to this technology, and we will provide a complete solution for your backup. And we will provide the complete support, which means that it is an end-to-end solution, and with minimal or no involvement from your technical team. We just need your support to provide the basic understanding of your current existing solution and what is your data protection roadmap. On that, we will design this. Some of the key features of the backup solution is that, unlike any other backup solution, the data is captured at a block level, and it will be in the application native format, which means that in a legacy solution, what happens is that the moment you take the data format, backup data, the backup data format is converted, and it will get stored in the native data, whatever the backup software format. So the moment you want to retrieve, you need to change the format, and again you need to mount on a virtual machine to access the data. So unlike that legacy solution, this solution captures the data at the block level and keep in the application native format, which means that as and when the data is exposed or attached to any application, immediately application will be able to read the data. So which means that your retrieval time is very faster compared to other backup solution. This is one of the unique value proposition of this solution. Okay, and also the master copy or the gold copy, whatever we call, will be stored on the local storage. So your the retrieval from the local storage is very faster, and also the above point, whatever we have discussed, with the native format, so it immediately application will be able to access and read the data. and it supports the DevOps, which is one of the crucial, element, rather the feature of the solution. And it drastically reduces the storage space by virtualizing the storage. For example, you have production storage of about 30 TB, and you also have a test and development team who wanted to access the production data. So you can create a virtual copy of the data, and any number of virtual copies you can create and give those copies to your various teams. You can distribute one copy to your test and development team, and you can distribute one copy for your compliance team so that they can check the production data. So what you are doing is, by creating virtual copies, first thing is that you are reducing your overall storage consumption. For example, you have 30 TB. Ideally, it will become 90 TB if you are creating 3 copies, right? So unlike that, you are still using this 30 TB, but still you are able to leverage the production data, whatever the most updated data in the organization for test and dev as well as compliance purpose. Okay, so that is one of the most asked advantage, so that you can reduce the overall storage consumption in an organization. The same solution can also be used only for the replication purpose between the primary and DR. So if you have a DR, and you can just replicate from your primary data store to the DR data storage, and you, based on the set RPO and RTO, the data will get replicated between the primary and DR. So as we discussed earlier, that even at the DR, the data is stored in the application native format. As soon as you bring a VM up at the DR site, your users will be able to access the application with the full data. So with the same solution, you are fulfilling the 3 major aspects. One is the backup, and second one is the storage virtualization, third one is the data replication between the primary and DR. Okay, so same solution with same licensing without any additional cost, you will be able to use this for all the 3 major aspects of the data center. And you can improve the SLA. One thing is that we discussed earlier that the data retrieval is very fast. We have recently conducted a POC for one of our customers. So compared to a traditional backup solution, whatever they have currently running, with this solution, they will be able to retrieve the data 30% to 50% faster. So this is across the workloads, application, database, filers, everything we have tested. On an average, nearly about 30 to 35% faster compared to other traditional backup solutions. So that is the unique value proposition of this solution. So how does this solution work, and what are the key components? If you look at this chart, you have a data center, and I would need just a virtual machine, create a backup server, okay, and I don't need any physical servers also. I just need a virtual machine. Either it can be a VFS or it can be a Hyper-V virtual machine, okay, and from there I take the copy of the data to the local storage. From there I push that to IBM object storage for long-term retention or archival purpose. Okay, why I'm pushing that to object storage, I will give you more reasons in the coming slides. And the flexibility and features what the solution has is that it supports multi-site backup. For example, you want to consolidate all your data centers data backup in one location as it is possible. Similarly, if you want to, for example, you have site A and site B and site C, you want to make a backup copy at backup copy of site A at site B, and backup copy of site B at site C. Similarly, from site C to site A, you can do that. Okay, so that is very much possible. And the IT benefits are, one is it is a completely centralized solution, and it provides the complete visibility and reporting and analytics of the complete solution. Okay, and second one is the faster recovery and around the clock data access for your production systems. It improves the backup success rate because there is no format conversion and all. Okay, as soon as you are able to attach the application with the storage and data can be read. Okay, it comes with the native cloud integration where there is no need for any intermediate appliance to push the data from on-prem storage to the object storage. And what are the operating benefits? One is it is a next generation solution and it's very intuitive, and from a small user interface you will be able to manage the complete backup solution. Okay, and it has got inbuilt DR replication solution which we have already discussed. And compression and dedupe are the native features. There is no additional licensing for that. Okay. And data is encrypted when it is getting transferred from one location to another location, and it is again the native feature of the solution, and there are no additional charges for these features. It can work across the technologies, whether it can be a Intel workload or a Unix workload, or it can be a AS400 or any other technology, including SAP and SAP HANA. This solution has the capability to work across the technologies. That is one of the major advantage, and without any commercial implication is one of the crucial parameters here which we need to understand. And we look at the financial benefits. So we discussed that the overall storage consumption will reduce, and storage, obviously everybody know that is one of the most costliest component in the data center infrastructure, right? And flexible pay-as-you-go pricing model we provide from IBM. And see, the overall TCO will be reduced, and it is highly scalable. As and when you need, you can procure the licenses, because the licenses are based on per TB. Day one, for example, you want 30 TB, yes, you go with 30 TB, and tomorrow you want additional 10 TB or 1 TB, you can increase that in multiples of anything. So that kind of flexibility we will provide from IBM. So else, if you are procuring any other backup technology, you have to rely on the perpetual licenses, which it will be a one-time investment. And with these kind of pay-as-you-go solutions, we will have the complete visibility of your data center expenditure, and you can very much contain. And as and when you need, then only will you should spend, rather than investing huge amount of money in just procuring the licenses. Because recently I met one customer, and he said that because he is not aware of these kind of solutions available with IBM, he procured a backup license worth of couple of crores for next 3 years. So that is a kind of expenditure, and he is not sure that what kind of change in the workload will come tomorrow. He may be able to use this same license, or he may not be able to use. Okay, if he is not able to use, then complete investment is down the drain. So that kind of risk is there. Here that kind of risk is fully eliminated, because it is just pay as you go model, and we'll provide that kind of flexibility to provide the licensing part, and we'll own the complete solution, so that the complete whatever the risks are there, and it is completely de-risked from this kind of solution. And coming to IBM Object Storage, why IBM Object Storage? So there are certain parameters where Gartner has categorized IBM Cloud Object Storage as the best object storage for backup and archival purpose. And we are one of the leader in cloud object storage, and there are multiple security controls are already established. Three levels of security is what we say we provide for the data when it is on IBM Cloud. And so we discussed that so traditionally what we have been doing is that for any backup solution we have an on-prem disk-to-disk solution. After that we are copying the data to the tapes, which are again a manual process. Okay, so in case of any disaster, retrieval of the data from tapes is very difficult, because we will be storing those tapes in a offsite location. So bringing the tape manually to the data center site is a problem. And secondly, if it is a manual process, yes, there is a chance of mistake. Okay, So those kind of manual activities can be completely eliminated if you provide the completely automated solution, which we are addressing that complete automated solution, backup solution with this offering. So the moment you choose IBM or any cloud object storage for the long-term retention, you will be freed from all your manual tasks, okay? And you will have complete predictability on the expenditure of the backup, okay? Whatever backup you are storing on the object storage for long-term retention. It is very easy to set up because it is a complete technology and it is tightly integrated with the backup solution, and it is easy to restore because your data is accessible from any location, right? For example, you have a primary DR and couple of a primary and you have a DR site, and also you will have more than one production sites as well, okay? And there is one DR site. So in that case, you can consolidate all your production data at object storage along with the one copy at the individual sites. And you want to restore the data at the DR, you can just pull the data from the object storage, and it supports the point-in-time data restore, which means that you can select a date and time, from which the data you want to be restored. Okay. Again, it's a simple graphical user interface. You put the time and date, and you can just drag and drop, and your data will be available at the target site. So as simple as that. And obviously, cloud is more secure because, rather than, I would say, any on-prem solution, because these companies, any cloud service provider, they would know the kind of, security controls they have to establish, for the cloud. And, it completely minimizes the risk of downtime because your data is accessible from any location around the clock. You can obviously minimize the downtime for your business. So you can ensure that your business is continuous without any interruption. If you look at the right-hand side of the chart, so IBM Object Storage is rated as the best product, okay, for the archival and backup. Okay, so this is one of the unique value propositions we can bring, in this backup as a service offering. So I have one more question here. So do you consider a secured cloud object storage for long-term retention of the data instead of your, traditional tape drives? I'll just give 30 seconds so that you people can answer. So obviously, this is one of the most critical, part. More and more companies are looking to migrate their data from the traditional way of taking backup on tapes to cloud-based object storages. So I think I'm moving to next slide. I hope you people have answered. Yeah. So coming to few use cases, how this solution can be deployed. So as we discussed earlier, this solution can be deployed at either IBM Resiliency Data Center or at your data center wherever your current data center is. And it supports both the physical servers, virtual servers, cloud, whatever the workloads you have. It is a completely hybrid in nature. And the key use case is the point 5, which is the multi-site backup. Okay, so if you have multiple production sites, you can still take the backup at each and every location, and you can rotate the data between these sites, and you can consolidate complete backup data for long-term retention on the object storage. Okay, and retrieval also simple because the object storage is completely accessible anytime, 24/7. Okay, so it works on physical servers, virtual servers, cloud, irrespective of the workload. Okay, it supports almost all workloads, I would say, and there is no dependency on the kind of workload it supports. Okay, and without any much complexity in the licensing policies, which is and it's completely transparent for you. It is only one line item that you will provide backup as service at so and so cost per month. So that's about the backup as a service offering, and so we bring from IBM perspective, we bring more than 40 years of experience in providing resiliency and data protection service to our global customers, and we have multiple offerings on resiliency services, and we are currently managing 50 petabytes of data, and I think we are providing services to some of the Fortune 500 companies, and around 2,000 people are completely dedicated to provide the data protection solution in IBM, and we have multiple, and backup as a service, we have more than a decade of experience in exclusively provide backup as a service. Okay, so we provide backup solution as a part of our overall IT infra solution, but the backup as a service portfolio, we have more than a decade of experience in providing various types of backup as a service solution, and these are completely time tested, proven, and implemented across our customer base and across the globe. So that's it about our presentation on the backup as a service. If you have any question, we can. I will be able to answer that.
So participants join from audio. If you wish to ask any question, you may please press 0 and then 1 on your telephone keypad and wait for your line to be unmuted.
Ankit this side from Cyber Media. I have one question.
Yeah, Ankit.
Yeah. So with this solution, what would be the approx percentage improvement in retrieval of data?
Yeah, so I briefly explained, but I will explain again. Okay, so recently we have conducted a POC on one of our customer environment who is using traditional backup solution, where we have seen around 30 to 35% improvement in the overall data retrieval time. Okay, so this is across the workloads that we have tested in applications at databases, including MS SQL database and Oracle. Okay, and also we tested this solution for the file backup. Across these scenarios, the overall improvement in the restoration time is around 30 to 35% improvement over the existing backup solutions, whatever they have. Okay, so which means that it will definitely the best possible solution in case if you are thinking about bringing or ensuring the complete business continuity without any disruption. Okay, so I would say the answer, just to summarize the answer, it would be around 30 to 35% of the overall restoration time improvement compared to traditional backup solutions. So participant, any other questions so that I can answer? You can always write to us. I have given my email ID, and you can write to me if you have any questions. Then you can also ask if you have any questions related to the technology also, not only just the offering, and also any query on our overall IBM resiliency services, not just limited to the backup. You can write to me, and I will respond to you as soon as possible.
I'll repeat, participants. You may please press 0 and then 1 to ask a question, and you may also post your questions on the Submit tab appearing right inside of your screen.
From the offering point of view, I would say for your complete data protection solution, it would be a one-stop shop, okay? Whether it can be a backup or it can be a complete data management solution for the organization, and which has rich features that includes the not just the backup but also for the DR and the replication solutions you are looking at, along with the cloud integration. Yeah, if you have any questions, then yeah. I think somebody is.
Still not getting any indication from the participants.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have one question. In the primary copy, which is local storage, need any server or direct data copy in the local storage from the data center? So how it works is that, so you will have a backup server at your primary data center, and that backup server will push the data to the local storage. Okay, so that is the only server you need if you are not considering any DR site. If you are considering a DR site, then you need one more backup server there. Okay, if you have only considering the backup solution, you need only one VM at the primary site, and that one VM take care of the backup at the local storage, and also it can push the data to the object storage also. So there is no need for any virtual machine at the object storage end or the cloud end. So with one VM, you will be able to take the complete backup. Whereas if you are using this solution for the DR also, then we would need one more VM at the DR site, okay, so that you will have two virtual machines, one is at the primary and one is at the DR. So that's how this solution works. Yeah, one more question I have is that, how the one-time data seeding on the object storage. So when we implement the solution, first we take the backup onto the local storage. From there, either we can ship this data either through a WAN or from a hard disk at the cloud end, so that we can integrate the one-time seed. We can seed the data one time on the cloud object storage. So if you are sending it from WAN, the data is completely encrypted when it is in the transit, okay, and also the data is completely encrypted when it is at the rest. These are the inherent features of the backup solution. In addition to that, we have multiple security controls are there on the IBM Cloud Object Storage also. Okay, so again, so all these security controls will come into picture, in addition to the encryption technology that is available on the, as a native feature of the backup solution. Okay, so these are the methods for, one-time seeding of the data onto the object storage. So, and also just to add, there is no point-to-point link requirement here. You can just migrate the data from, or replicate the data one time from using the site-to-site VPN between the site and the object storage. And once this is implemented as a one-time activity for the complete data, and after that it is just an incremental. It is very, very minimal. So only a delta of whatever the delta change is will get replicated, and not the complete data. Okay. Yeah. So that's about the replication, and also it has the change CBTs, change block tracking, as inherent feature. So it completely blocks, completely tracks the data that are getting changed, and only that change will get replicated onto the DR. So any more questions here?
So at this time, there are no further questions, so I would like to hand over the proceedings back to you for the final remarks. Thank you, and over to you.
Yeah, team, thanks a lot for your time and for participating in the this webinar. And you can always write to me, purushottam@in.ibm.com is my email ID. And whatever the questions you have with respect to the data center, you can write to me, and also you can either write to me, or you can directly write to Bharti, both the email IDs we have provided here. And I would like to say thank you to everyone for your time and for your participation in this webinar. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing the session. Thank you, participants, for joining in. You may all disconnect now, and I would request you all kindly fill up the feedback form appearing on your screen once the webinar gets over. Thank you all for your participation.
Thank you.